last week that she wouldn't be meant to make it this week.
Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I might be wrong.
Chris is here. Good evening. I better say something, otherwise you'll thinking I'm just just think I'm sitting here looking like the normal stuffed dummy. But anyway, evening everybody. Looking at the people as they're saying hello. It's just Steve and Viv, and they don't make it every week. Okay. So I look back when I did the first quiz, and it was exactly a year ago. I know we had a bit of a break when we did come out of our mini lockdown, but it's been going for a year. So I'm on holiday next week, and obviously I decided to have a break. If things change, then obviously we can resurrect them. Andy has had a meeting with Sue, so he said rather than send out a message to everybody, I might as well tell you what's happening up the club. At the moment, some people already know, but the club is not opening on the 17th of May. In fact, it's not opening until Friday the 29th, and it's only open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I believe from Andy, that is going to be the case. It's only going to be open Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and I think that's in the evenings, until June the 21st, when the easing of all the restrictions go ahead. And at that point, at the moment, it's going to open from Wednesday to Sunday, so no Monday and Tuesday. So at the moment, we're unknown as to what to do about the quiz. However, Andy has given me Sue's contact details. I'm going to have a chat with Mike and Dave and see what they're going to do. But I think if we can make a case that there is enough of us going to be turning up on a Tuesday, then they may well open it for the quiz. But that, at the moment, isn't going to happen. So that's the update with the club. So as usual, always feel as though we're the members of the bar area tend to be second best. We assume that the cafe's opening lock, stock and barrel on Monday the 17th, but not the bar. So that's the latest update from the club. But if we do have any changes, then I'll let you know. But basically, that's the situation. But yeah, I'm just going to have a break. I've had a year of having fun on a Tuesday night. We're actually going back to work more, not full time, but I'm in the office a lot more, so it gives me a lot less time to do things. But that's the way it is, and that's your update. So as you can see, the club's empty, and that's what it's probably going to look like for Mondays and Tuesdays. All I can say is cheers. I've been saving that one, Andy, for the last week. Cheers for those. Yep, that's the ones that came in at Christmas time. That's great. All right then.
Scott said, is that because they've not got a landlord? Won't that affect any skittles, etc.?
No, they've. I think, and I don't know. We're only second guessing. Andy was at the meeting. Andy may be able to correct me, but I think the staff are furloughed until the end of May. There was issues with the coolers. There's issues with the orders for the beer. So yeah, maybe the landlord names haven't been sorted out yet, but they're obviously sorting it out for the 29th of May. They just haven't sorted it out for any time before that. So I think the issue is it's just a case of when they wanted to bring staff back in and whatever. There is a bar manager up there, which is Hugh. So he was there before. So, you know, the fact is that the personnel in that respect haven't changed. There's still Andy, there's Jackie. I think they probably need a couple more bar staff. But, you know, there are, I just don't know, Scott, the answer, short answer. They're a little bit unknown. They may have somebody in the pipeline, but we'll get told about that sometime in due course. Okay, let's get on with the quiz. I'm just going to do 4 rounds. What's that?
I'm just doing a message to Chris because she said she's having a bit of problems with her laptop, so I'm just going to send that now.
Okay.
And Dave says you've had a year of having fun on Tuesday night. No wonder Anne wants to pop round here.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah, well, you know, it's all you get round here, Dave, is beans on toast. So it's when you mention things like chicken and stuff like that. If I wasn't doing this quiz, I'll be around there as well. Well, that's assuming you get an invite, but then we don't normally get one. So there you go. All right, let's get on with the quiz. Otherwise, people will be falling asleep, including me. Right, nice, easy start. Nothing difficult in the first round. So, question number 1. What power can be produced in forms of alternating or direct current? Julian's down in Padstow, so there might be a bit of a time delay, probably about 2 weeks. But hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. So what right, I can't even start on question 1. What power can be produced in forms of alternating or direct current? Question number 1. Question number 2. What plant is the national emblem of Scotland? So what plant is the national emblem of Scotland? Question number 3. What was the original name of the toy store Hamleys, and it had a biblical connection? So what was the original name of the toy store Hamleys, and it had a biblical connection? Question number 4. Glaucoma affects which part of the body? Glaucoma affects which part of the body? That's question 4. Question number 5. Which American president said the ballot is stronger than the bullet? Question 5. Which American president said the ballot is stronger than the bullet? Question number 6. How many more legs does a spider have than a human? How many more legs does a spider have than a human? Question number 7. What is added to malt vinegar for it to go from white to brown as we see it? So malt vinegar is pure white. But what is added to malt vinegar for it to go from white to brown as we see it? Question number 8. On UK coins, which profile of the Queen is shown? Is it right or left? So all those who've got money in your pockets, you can have a quick look. So question 8, on UK coins, which profile of the Queen is shown? Is it the right or the left profile? Question number 9. In a proverb to reverse the order of things, you put the cart before the what? In a proverb, to reverse the order of things, you put the cart before the what? And finally, question 10 in the first round. In horticulture, what is the area to cultivate trees for study and display? Just an area of trees, really, but in horticulture, what is the area to cultivate trees for study and display? There we go then. Recap time. What power? I can't say the first question. I'm only said it wrong about 5 times. What power can be produced in forms of alternating or direct current? 2. What plant is the national emblem of Scotland? 3. What was the original name of the toy store Hamleys, which had a biblical connection? Glaucoma, I probably spelled that wrong, but affects which part of the body? Which American president said the bullet is stronger than the bullet? Question 6. How many more legs does a spider have than a human? Question 7. What is added to malt vinegar for it to go from white to brown, as we see it? 8. On UK coins, which profile of the queen is shown, right or left? 9. In a proverb, to reverse the order of things, you put the cart before the what? And finally, in horticulture, what is the area to cultivate trees for study and display? As I say, it's an area of trees. Right. And I know there was not too many of you that are still going, but for those of you who were with me for the very first week, way back in May last year, this was round 1 then. So if you've got a memory of a year, you should be able to get all 10 right. I have a memory of about a day, if I'm lucky. And even less if I've had 2 pints.
Dave said, is it his kit or is everything slightly fuzzy tonight?
Maybe slightly fuzzy, but that seems quite clear on now on my screen. But what you been drinking, Dave? That's normally the fuzzy effect. Right, okay. As long as you can hear me and put some answers down, don't really matter, does it? I'm always fuzzy. So here we go then. Answers to round number 1. So the alternating or direct current is, of course, electricity. National emblem of Scotland's the thistle. Noah's Ark was the original name for toy store Hamleys. Glaucoma affects the eyes. It was Abraham Lincoln who said the bullet is stronger than the bullet. A spider has 6 more legs than the human. Its caramel is added to malt vinegar to give her its colouring. So something along the lines of caramel. I'm sure you've got something similar. On UK coins, it's the right profile of the queen. And you put the horse before the cart. And obviously the trees are in Arboretum. So we have Anne here doing a sterling job as usual, keeping me in tow, keeping the feed. Questions coming to me, but I can't see them. I don't have them on my screen. Unless I keep flicking between screens, and that causes a problem. Okay. Right. Here's me.
Mick's the only one that got 10.
Well done, Mick. I'm glad somebody got 10. Someone just proved that they were listening a year ago. Right. Okay then, let's move on to round 2. I've tried to start with something nice and easy on each of them tonight. So, question 1, straightforward in abbreviation. What is a UFO? Uniform Foxtrot Oscar. So, what is a UFO? Question number 2. In which English county is Kendal? Where we get the mint cake from. So, in which English county is Kendal? Question number 3. What do you do with a Maduro? Maduro. Do you eat it, smoke it, or drink it? So what do you do with a Maduro? Maduro. Do you eat it, smoke it, or drink it? Question number 4. Oh yeah, 4. The World Health Organization is an agency of which larger body? So the World Health Organization is an agency of which larger body? No trick questions. Question 5. How many hands does the Big Ben clock have? I'll give you a clue, it's not 2. So how many hands does the Big Ben clock have? Question number 6. Which piece of field event sporting equipment weighs 4 pounds 6 ounces? So what piece of field event sporting equipment weighs 4 pounds 6 ounces? Question number 7. What is the capital of Queensland, Australia? What is the capital of Queensland, Australia? Question number 8. What would you keep in a band box? What would you keep in a band box? Now, some people say it's Dave Jones. They keep his band in a box. Occasionally let him out. But question 8, what would you keep in a band box? Question number 9. Which Roman said Veni Vidi Vici? Which Roman said Veni Vidi Vici? And question number 10 in this round. Who had a hit in the 60s with Those Were the Days? Who had a hit in the 60s with Those Were the Days? So here we go then. Question 1. Abbreviations. What is a UFO? 2. In which English county is Kendal? 3. What would you do with a Majuro? Eat it, smoke it, or drink it? 4. The World Health Organization's agency of which larger body? How many hands does a Big Bang clock have? And I'm not saying, I did say it's not 2. So question 6. Which piece of field event sporting equipment weighs 4 pounds 6 ounces? What's the capital of Queensland, Australia? 8. What would you keep in a bandbox? 9. Which Roman said Veni Vidi Vici? And 10. Who had a hit in the 60s with Those Were the Days? Right, let's have some answers then. So obviously UFO, unidentified flying object. Kendal is in Cumbria. A Majuro, you would smoke it. It's a type of cigar. The World Health Organization is part of the United Nations. How many does the Big Bang clock have? Well, it has 8. It's got 4 faces, so there's 2 on each face. The discus weighs 4 pounds 6 ounces. Brisbane is the capital of Queensland, Australia. You keep hats in a bandbox. Julius Caesar said Veni Vidi Vici. And Mary Hopkins sang Those Were the Days. Those were the days as we come out of lockdown. Properly-ish. Maybe. Perhaps. So, there we go. Hands poised. They're ready. No. No, there's good scores on that round because I've been kind to them tonight. They'll hate the next round though, because it's not pictures, it's not anagrams, it's not anything. It's a 50-50 guess round. All the ones that you hate. So there are 15 50-50s. It's a pure guess. I'm sure you understand that. So I'll put them up on your screen and shut up basically, so that there'll be a question and there'll be a choice of 2 answers. So all you've got to do is guess the right one. Let's get rid of me. And let's put these up. They're a little bit on the small side. I hope you're not on, either got bad eyesight or if you're watching on telly, it should be all right. So question 1 is, which is the longest river? And that's Mississippi, Missouri, or the Yangtze. That's the Mississippi and Missouri combined. What has the larger population? Wales or Northern Ireland. What is the larger area? Iceland or Israel? And so on, right the way down. So as you can see, there's your 15. I'll shut up for 5 minutes. It shouldn't take you too long to guess, and then we'll have some answers. Yeah, if you can't read them, Dave, you're probably on a small screen like me, but obviously on the television they're quite clear. But running down, and what is the longer river, Mississippi, Missouri, or the Yangtze? What's the larger population, Wales or Northern Ireland? Which is the larger area, Iceland or Israel? Who has won more Oscars, Francis Ford Coppola or the Forrest Gump? Which sport has most registered players, rugby or hockey? And that's combined men and women. Which is the higher population, Paris, France or Chicago, Illinois? What was invented first, submarine or sewing machine? Who had more, Henry VIII's wives or Elizabeth Taylor's husbands? Who joined the Union first, Texas or Florida? Who has more seats in European Parliament, Latvia or Lithuania? Who is richer? Obviously, this one dates back a little bit. Madonna, Guy Ritchie, or Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas? Which is closer to London, Oxford or Cambridge? Who had more number ones, ABBA or Rolling Stones? Which is longer, M1 motorway or the M4 motorway? And which planet has more moons, Saturn or Uranus? I'll give you another minute on those.
Right. Mm. They said it's come back into focus now.
Oh, okay. I'll give you another minute or two then, Dave. You're having problems with your kit, obviously. I often think they come back into focus sometimes as well. I don't know what I'm looking at sometimes. Okay, I'll give you another minute or so, Dave. You can have 15 guesses. I think it's probably, hopefully, most people know about 8 or 10 of them, and then the other 5 is just pure guesswork. But that's what it's designed to do. Now it's coming to focus. Have I come into focus yet? Because I'm not on screen. Probably in hindsight, probably should have only done 10 and made them a bit bigger, but there you go. I was lazy, I took it straight off the internet. Off the interweb. Probably shouldn't have done, having just done my cyber training on computers. All right, where are we? 2039, so 2040. I'll put the answers up on the screen. And there's not much in some of this, obviously, which is why it's designed that way. Here I am again. Just so I'm still alive, I'm still drinking. All right, then, let's click round to 20 to 9. Let's do some answers. Get rid of those. And let's bring up some answers. They're just as bad. But I'll read them out to you anyway. So, question number 1, which is the longest river? It's the Yangtze. Wasn't a lot in it, a couple of 100 miles. Who has the largest population? That's Wales, 3 million to 1.8 million. Which is the largest area? Iceland by a long, long way. Israel's about the 20th of the size. Francis Ford Coppola got 5 Oscars and Forrest Gump got 6. So Forrest Gump's the answer. So far we've got Yancey, Wales, Iceland, Forrest Gump. Hockey's got 3 million registered players as opposed to 2 million rugby. Paris is bigger, 2.8 million to 2.1 million. The submarine was invented first, 1776, as opposed to 1829 for the sewing machine. Elizabeth Taylor's had more husbands, Henry VIII had wives. Florida was about 9 months ahead of Texas joining the USA. Lithuania's got more seats in Parliament. Madonna and Guy Ritchie, quite a bit richer than Catherine Zeta-Jones, Michael Douglas. Cambridge is 49 miles and Oxford 52, so 3 mile difference, so it's Cambridge. ABBA's had 9, Rolling Stones had 8. The M1 motorway is 3 miles longer than the M4 until they stretch it a bit or turn it round over something. And Saturn has now got more moons, than Uranus. So Yangtze, Wales, Iceland, Forrest Gump, hockey, Paris, submarine, Elizabeth Taylor, Florida, Lithuania, Madonna, Guy Ritchie, Cambridge, ABBA, M1 motorway, Saturn. So hopefully wasn't too bad. Right, let's take this off the screen. All pinging through?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. And was just outside. So just want to check this quickly. Oh, shouldn't have done that. So I've got some. Okay then. Right. Round number 4 tonight. All of the answers begin with can. C-A-N. As in, I can. So no. So all of the answers begin with C-A-N. So if you've got something different to that, tough. So question number 1, round number 4. Which program created by Jonathan Ralph played practical jokes on the public and then asked them to smile? That's dating back a few years, but a lot of irate people got caught out on that one. So, which program created by Jonathan Ralph played practical jokes on the public and then asked them to smile? Question number 2. What was the name of a train driven by Casey Jones? Now, at this stage, for all of us who can remember, we start singing the Casey Jones theme tune. Well, those who can sing, of course. So what was the name of the train driven by Casey Jones? Number 3. What is the capital of Australia? Question 3. What is the capital of Australia? Question number 4. What word means to declare a person to be a saint? Beginning with the 3 letters, C-A-N. What word means to declare a person to be a saint? Certainly David know this one. There may be a few of you who don't, but obviously it begins with C-A-N, so you might have half a chance. Question 5. Which rock group had hits with Let's Work Together and On the Road Again? On the road again. I can't sing, as you know. And I can't have music, otherwise I'll get struck off forever. So question 5. Which rock group had hits with Let's Work Together and On the Road Again? think probably in the 70s, Dave, if I'm not mistaken. Question number 6. Which 12-letter word means bad-tempered? Which 12-letter word means bad-tempered? Beginning with CAN. Question number 7. Which series of stories were written by Geoffrey Chaucer or Chaucer? Which series of stories were written by Geoffrey Chaucer? Question number 8. What name is given to tubes of pasta stuffed with meat? And it's not ravioli because they don't begin with CAN. What name is given to tubes of pasta stuffed with meat? Question number 9. What name is given to the unit of measurement of luminous intensity? Try saying that when you've had a few beers. Question 9. What name is given to the unit of measurement of luminous intensity? And finally, question 10 in this round. What's the nickname of Norwich City FC? What's the nickname of Norwich City FC? If you want to phone a friend, phone Delia. The
Linda
cook.
said she's lost you. So
okay, where have you lost me, Linda? Let me know what question. We'll bring the questions up on the screen if you've, and we can go through them that way. Yeah, I have a bit of trouble around that way with signal, I think. Is she not? When did that happen? Linda lost you. 60s, was it, Dave? Okay. Dave Jones got 11 out of 10. Mick, did you put in a in for 5? Yeah, Bananarama. Kananarama, Dave. Mick. Yes, it was Kananarama. It was that well-known. It was that well-known pop group, forerunner to Bananarama, Kananarama. Found you on the TV. Okay. All right. I'll put the questions up on the screen then, Linda, and then hopefully you'll catch up. I'll give you an extra minute or two. Let's do that then. So let's take me off. So all of them begin with CAN, C-A-N. So which program created by Jonathan Ralph played practical jokes on the public and then asked them to smile? What was the name of the train driven by Casey Jones? What is the capital of Australia? What word means to declare a person to be a saint? Which rock group had hits with Let's Work Together and On the Road Again? And you can have a point for Kananarama. Only joking. And Dave tells me that was the 60s. I thought it was the 70s, but there again, my music knowledge is not good. Which 12-letter word means bad-tempered? Which series of stories were written by Geoffrey Chaucer? What name is given to tubes of pasta stuffed with meat? What name is given to the unit of measurement of luminous intensity? And nickname of Norwich City FC. If you want to take part, Linda, you can just ping me. If you can't get it back up on your computer, just ping me your score on my phone if you can hear me clearly, and I will I'll pick it up that way. If you can't get back on the system, quite happy to do that. Hopefully you've caught us up anyway. It's always the last week that everything goes wrong, but there you go. That's what we live with. All right, if you're ready, I'll give you some answers. So here we go with the answers then. So the program created by Jonathan Ralph, played practical jokes, was Candid Camera. Casey Jones was Cannonball Express to be precise. What is the name of the capital of Australia? It's Canberra. It's you canonise somebody if they become a saint. Canned Heat was the group that did Let's Work Together and On the Road Again. Cantankerous is the 12-letter word, meaning bad-tempered. Geoffrey Chaucer wrote the Canterbury Tales. Cannelloni is pasta stuffed with meat. It's a candela is the name given to the unit of measurement, luminous intensity, and the nickname of Norwich City FC. They are the Canaries.
Linda said she's okay now.
Okay, you're all right. Okay, fine. Everybody's happy back in the room. And so, in the next minute or two, we shall say our prayers for the last round. So for the last round, you can have me in full glory, full Technicolor. Yuck. Oh, look, I can't even dress properly. I don't even know what side it is. Nobody told me my collar was out. Yeah, this mirror is not very good that I'm looking at. All right, okay. So let's move on to your final round tonight. So, as I've done before, it's all about something to do with last in some description or the other. So they're all sort of final things or whatever. So let's get going then. Your last round for this quiz, this little set, is question number 1. Which American state was the last to join the United States? So what was the last American state to join the United States? What was number 50? Question number 2. Name the last football team to win the old First Division before the creation of the Premier League for 1992-93 season. Was it Leeds United or Manchester City? So name the last football team to win the old First Division before it came to Premiership. Was it Leeds United or Manchester City? Way back in 1992-93. So Leeds United or Manchester City, 50-50 on that one. Question 3. Who had a hit in 1967 with The Last Waltz? All get your hankies out and start dancing around, or dance around your handbags. And that's the men. Yeah. Sorry. Get carried away here. It's the euphoria. Question 4. What was Eugene Cernan the last to do? What was Eugene Cernan the last to do? Question number 5. Name the last Harry Potter novel which was published 10 years after the first, in 2007. So name the last Harry Potter novel which was published 10 years after the first, in 2007. Question number 6. One for you historians. Name the last British king to be killed in battle. Question 6. Name the last British king to be killed in battle. Question number 7. In May 2009, Milvina Dean died aged 97. She was the last survivor of which historic event? In May 2009, Milvina Dean died aged 97. She was the last survivor of which historic event? Question number 8. Roy Clark was the writer of which long-running sitcom which ran for 37 years? Roy Clark was the writer of which long-running sitcom which ran for 37 years? Question number 9. Which big band leader died in 2015, aged 86, and had 65 albums reaching the charts? So, which big band leader died in 2015, aged 86, and had 65 albums reaching the charts? And your last question tonight, question 10. It's good night from Phil and it's good night from Anne is the last line of which show? No, only joking. It's good night from me and it's good night from him is the last line from which show? But it is good night from Phil and good night from Anne until we read the answers. So yeah, that question was, it's good night from me and it's good night from him is the last line from which show? Here we go then. Final recap. Question 1. Which American state was the last to join the United States? The last one, number 50. What name the last football team to win the first division before the Premier League? Was it Leeds United or Manchester City? Who had a hit in 1967 with The Last Waltz? 4. What was Eugene Cernan the last to do? Name the last Harry Potter novel published 10 years after the first, in 2007. Name the last British king to be killed in battle. In May 2009, Milvina Dean died aged 97. She was the last survivor of which historic event? Roy Clark was the writer of which long-running sitcom which ran for 37 years? 9. Which big band leader died in 2015 aged 86 and had 65 albums reaching the charts? And finally, the very last question, it's good night from me and it's good night from him is the last line from which show? So there we go with the answers then. So the last state to join the United States was Hawaii. Leeds United were the last First Division winners before it became Premier League. Who had a hit in 1967 with the last Wolves? That was Engelbert. Eugene Cernan was the last person to walk on the moon. The Deathly Hallows was the last Harry Potter novel. The last British king to be killed in battle was Richard I. Probably just been dug up in the last few years, hasn't he? May 2009, Milvina Dean, 1997. She was the last survivor of the sinking of the Titanic. Roy Clark was the writer of The Last of the Summer Wine. The big band leader died in 2015, had 65 albums reaching the charts, was James Last. And finally, It's Good Night from Me and It's Good Night from Him was, of course, from the Two Ronnies. Anne is poised with pen, eagerly waiting. No, in fact, she started writing already. So, okay, let's get rid of that. Let's get me back on the screen. Not a lot to say, really. Thoroughly enjoyed doing this for the last year, give or take a few months in between. I think in total it was something like 41 quizzes. I did look them up, somewhere in the region of 41. So it's been going a little while, and of course it may be back. Who knows? But at the moment, what we're trying to do is have a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks off, and we'll try and see if we can get the quizzes running back up the club. I think we should be able to. It's not impossible. It's just a case of whether they want to play ball with us or not. Or in fact, Andy did suggest that we might try another evening if that was feasible, because there's not a lot going on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays, but I think it just depends on how many numbers would turn up and how many people are up the club. We'd have to give it a couple of weeks to see what happens really over the first couple of weeks once they do reopen. But I'm sure they'll lose a few people to the Hare and Hounds and all the pubs that are opening and have been open right away through lockdown. And the Top Club, are more than happy for us to go and join in up there. So if they've got some quiz nights, why not? We can all take part then. Nobody has to make up the answers. All right. Let's put you out. Yeah. That's very kind of you, Dave. That's very kind. Yeah. So, well, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. It has been entertaining. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As I say, looking at myself for an hour every night on a Tuesday's not the greatest thing, trust me. And for you to put up with it, you're saints, really. You've all been canonised. And doing a final total, so we'll have a fun. So, yeah, there was going to be a prize tonight, but I thought, why break the habit of a lifetime? So there is no prize. You've all been great. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a great group, and hopefully we will do it. What will you do next week? Well, we're in Newquay in Wales, Bernie, so if you want to come and do it, I'll have my computer with me. Sure, I'll find you a quiz question, but you're going to have to drive to me. I can't trust the fact that there's going to be an internet provider out in where we're going. Okay, here we go then with the scores. In joint 8th place, Chris and Jill with 39. 7th place, we had Linda with 42. 6th place, we had Mick with 44. In joint 4th place with 46, we had Bernie and Scott. In 3rd place with 47, Andy. Well done for Andy. And it's great to see that we had joint winners tonight. Julian and Dave with 48 points. Thanks very much, everybody. I can say, you know, without you lot, it wasn't any point to, you know. So all round to Dave's. Yeah, that sounds like good. Yeah, but thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us every Tuesday night. We've thoroughly enjoyed trying to entertain you. As I say, Tuesdays will be a bit strange, but hopefully we can get it going in some way or other. If they don't come back, I will probably resurrect it, because I know Tuesday nights is one of those nights, but I'm hoping we can get something a bit more lively going, i.e. by meeting. And much prefer seeing everybody out having a good time rather than just letting me rattle on for hours on end. But thanks very much, everybody. I'm going to sign off now. Anne was going to do a cameo wave to everybody, but it looks like that I'm doing the cameo wave on her behalf. Unless you're going to come round and say hello. You're not. No, do 2 waves. She's not going to come and look at the screen for you. No. She said no. She doesn't want to steal the limelight. Bye, everyone. Yeah, thanks everyone. I'm sure you can keep in touch. I'll send out some reminders of whenever things are happening. But well done, everybody. Thank you, and I will hopefully see you sometime in the near future. Cheers then. Bye all. See you, Scott and Tracy, Bernie and Audrey, Liz and Dave, Jill, Linda and Mike, Julian and Viv, and Andy and Sue, and Mick and Pauline. Not to forget Mick and Pauline. And girls. Jill. I said Jill. Oh, did you? Yeah. And prompted me for. I got to say, because you play on your own, Jill. Got to say it twice. Bye, Jill. And Chris. Don't forget Chris. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for taking part, and see you all soon. Cheers and bye. And as it said, it's good night from Phil, and it's good night from Anne.